Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Linux Market Insights with Linux. My apologies, almost named my main channel. But welcome to this new video, a new update right here on AMD. It's been a 2 weeks, I think, since I covered AMD last. I did cover it 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. Let me check that out. No, I actually covered it 6 days ago. So last week Thursday as well, I think October the 2nd. Yeah. And back then times were different. We're going to do a full update right here on the technicals. We'll talk about the fundamentals a bit for AMD. Obviously things have changed and we'll talk about the price in the current context. But when we're talking about last week, like I said, the 2nd of October, I made it. Back then, we already saw momentum, right? I mean, I already told you that, this actually looks good. I mean, we had some good news coming out. We had this consolidation down here and we broke out. So I said, I think we can rally into the value area high right here. That's a nice move and potentially break out. And then obviously, I think that we got that AMD OpenAI deal, and that deal obviously that's great. First of all, that's to be fulfilled, I think, in the, somewhere midway through 2026. But that's a major deal in general, when we're talking business wise for AMD. But outside of that, what that kick-started is this beautiful rally. I mean, right now, since my last video, we are up about 43%. Some of you actually were able to capitalize on that. That's amazing news. That's in the end what I make these videos for. But now the big question is all right, well, what's next? And before we dive into that, I know this chart looks horrendous. I understand, but trust me, I need these levels, right? Because right now AMD is in price discovery. We're at prices, we're at market caps that we've never been at. You need some sort of gauges or some sort of indications to guide us through what's going on whenever we are in price discovery. So we'll zoom in and then we will talk about what the possibilities are. Right now, yesterday towards the end of the session, we actually got towards a relatively important level. That's around $233. I think that's still going to be a very interesting level for today. And that's kind of going to be the main area that decides whether we are going to pull back and test some of the lower support levels at 220 and 210. $210 is actually the most important support level, or at least the strongest one. So that's a possibility, a pullback into that level, or we are going to get continuation in $250. Honestly, at this point of time, that second scenario seems more likely. I mean, everything that happened over the course of the past week. Let me reset my camera real quick. But basically what it has started is that AMD and NVDA are now seen or perceived. I still think they're not the same. I still think NVIDIA is much better than AMD. But I think that the gap has closed a little bit between them, at least in the perception of investors and traders, right? I mean, still NVIDIA at this point of time is sitting at like a $4.6 trillion market cap. And at the same point of time, AMD is sitting at, I think, $400 billion, right? So that's a significant difference. And then if AMD is able to make these deals with OpenAI is obviously one of the front runners in the AI rat race, let's call it like that. If they're able to make those huge deals, right? I mean, there's even this deal that OpenAI is able to buy 10% of AMD. That's a sign of trust, of belief in AMD, right? And then there's this massive gap between AMD and NVIDIA, and now the question becomes, well, is NVIDIA supposed to be worth trillions more than AMD? I would argue yes, but short term we're still seeing momentum because of that perception change, and honestly that's also key. That's one of the two reasons outside of the technical strength that I expect bullish continuation. But technically, the markets are opening in about 30 minutes. Like the pre-market price is sitting at 238. Yesterday we found some resistance here at 234, which is a relevant level technically, but also not that much. So it seems most likely now as long as we don't get very bad news, I think we're going to be able to hold that level, and I think we're going to be able to head for that next target around 250. And then after 250, it's going to be 260. After 260, it's going to be 280. Those are the price targets, but I prefer to, go at it one level at a time. So for now, 233 is the main level. If for some reason fundamentally, like if we get some bad news and we drop down below that, then that's a sign that we're most likely going to pull back lower. But as it stands right now, with the current news, with the current fundamentals, I expect us to break above that level, hold a breakout, and rally higher. Knowing full well that we have one of the sickest gaps to the downside I've ever seen. But those are my thoughts for now. So thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully that helps. But for now, have a great Thursday. Take care and bye.